Good morning devs, today is a packed day because I have some freelance work to finish and I also want to continue the development process of my new indie iOS application. I will tell you more about that when I finish the freelance work, and if you wait a couple of seconds I will make myself a coffee and I will also address the question in the title. So let's make myself a coffee and let's talk about that. So, do you really need a CS degree to start working as a software engineer in 2025? The answer is no. And I'm not telling you to not go to college and get your degree if you want, but I'm saying this to motivate people that don't have time to go to college or they can't afford to going to college and they want to start being a software engineer. And in my case, I didn't want to go to college because I already taught myself how to develop Android applications, and later I also learned how to develop iOS applications, and with the time I also got some freelance gigs, and I've been freelancing for the last 3 years, and in the last month I also got a job contract offer, and I don't know if I will start the next month because they delayed the project a while, but I'm telling you that it's not mandatory to own a CS degree to get a job. Sure, it can help you make connections through the college, you will have some colleagues that will have the same passions as you. It will also help you land some internships with some companies that you want to work with. But if you already know what programming field you want, like you want to go develop applications for mobiles, so you want to develop websites or games, but in college you will learn from everything, you will go through front end, back end and stuff like that. And it's good to help you find what you like, but if you spend 1 to 3 months experiencing by yourself like I did, because in the first month I started with games, I got bored and I thought it's very hard to make games. Then I shifted into web development and I spent 1 month into that, and then I thought that it's much nicer to build mobile applications because we're spending so much time on the phones, and I really like the process of building a mobile application. So that's my experience with the college degree, and if you have other things you want to share in the comments, feel free to do that. In the video description you will find the code that is for any JetBrains IDE you want to choose, and it will give you 1 year free, and then you will get charged, but 1 year is free, you can cancel at any time. So thanks JetBrains for giving me some codes to share, and in the next videos I will share more codes with you. And I have some freelance work to do, and I'm using Compose multi-platform for this project, and initially I thought going with a cross-platform framework like Flutter or React Native, but Compose multi-platform is doing its job great and I didn't have to learn anything new. It's not that popular like Flutter where you have a lot of plugins, but there are still some libraries that you can use, and Compose multi-platform is stable, so if you're an Android developer wanting to build multi-platform apps and you already know Jetpack Compose, this framework is for you. So yeah, let's start working. So I wanted to share with you where I find my freelance clients. So I find them through Upwork, and in my opinion it's very hard to find clients on Upwork because the competition is very high, and some people prefer to work with that people that are charging less. And in my opinion, if you're charging less for your service, it means that your service isn't that good. This also helps you to filter your clients, because if your client will work with someone that is charging $5 per hour and won't choose anyone with a higher rate than that, it means that your client is that type of client that will have a lot of complaints, because the high paying client will just give you, let's say, I want to build this application idea, here is the design, you build the application, he has some feedback, but he's not that intrusive, like change this and that, and you you will have to do more stuff like that because I don't like that. And he will just go with the flow, and he will appreciate the work you are performing for him. He will not over criticize your work. Because when I started freelancing, I took a small gig for $300 to build a small salon application that help you to book some barbers to cut your hair and stuff. And the budget was, as I said, 300, and the client expectation were way too high for that 300. I thought that he wants a simple MVP done in, let's say, a couple of days, and no, he wanted a database, he wanted design, also improve the UX and the localization, and luckily he didn't had any API to for me to choose the barbers from the zone. So yeah, for $300 I developed something that is way pricier than that, and I learned my lesson, and I'm pricing way higher, because if you're pricing higher, as I said, your service is way better than that price. It's not bad to take some gigs that are cheaper for your price, because if you want to build some experience, it's okay, because you don't have any reviews on your profile yet, and or you don't have any experience at all. Like when I started freelancing, I didn't had any work experience before, and I started freelancing in my last year of high school, and luckily I got some freelance clients, and here's where I'm now with 3 years of experience in this field. So my advice to get clients on Upwork is to have a fair rate for your services, and make sure that your profile picture is good, like they can see your face. People don't like to work with someone that doesn't have a profile picture with themselves, like you have some character from anime, or I don't know. Also, make sure that you have some skills enumerated in your profile description. For example, in my profile, I'm enumerating my skills, and before that, I'm saying that I have 3 years of experience in helping businesses building their own applications. And also, when applying for gigs, make sure that you are focused on the client needs. For example, on my last freelance gig that I got a contract 1 week before, in the description of the gig, client said that he wants to work closely with the freelancer to ensure that the application is as he needs. And I took advantage of that, and I mentioned that of course I want to work closely with you to make sure that your dream application or something like that becomes reality. And also, this client didn't had any reviews before, but if the client has some reviews because they also used Upwork before, you can go on the gig page, scroll down a little, find the reviews, and you will also see his name, maybe, because if they have ratings, they will give ratings back to the freelancers, and some freelancers will also give them a feedback. And in the freelancer feedback, often you will see their name. So this will give you some advantage, because we can start with, hey, the client name, and they will see that you already know their name because you spend some time finding it. So these are some tips that helped me land some clients through Upwork. And if you have some other tips or questions you want to share in the comments, and I will reply to them, and let's get back to work. So I got hungry, and I made some eggs with some cheese, and I also have here a tuna. Believe it or not, here are around 30 grams of protein, and as I'm going to the gym, I need to take a lot of protein, so I wanted to share with you an advice that helped me a lot with my resume. So let's say if you're too focused on the technical stuff instead of the results of your work in the resume, the recruiter won't really care, let's say like that. Because if they see that at your past job you did something meaningful, like you developed a feature that increased the productivity of the users with 30%, or you built an MVP that got funded, my CV is made by 3 lines for every job I had, and I'm trying to show more results. And to be honest with you, I don't know what percentage my work has improved for the users, and I watched a lot of videos for resume advices, and they just said show some numbers, and if you don't have that result or you don't know the impact of your work, just throw some numbers that can make it look real, like not crazy numbers like 99% or something like 10, 20, 30, 40, let's say like that. Or you can also mention how many users your application have or website, or I don't know. But this is a very good advice that attracted some recruiters to also continue the recruitment process with me. And I have to finish this meal, and then I will go back to the freelance work because I still have some tasks that I haven't finished, and later then I will start working on my iOS app and I will tell you more about it. And after a good meal, we need to make some coffee, and this is my coffee, and it's a light blend, and it's from a local coffee shop from the Timișoara, and it's pretty good honestly, and I will get more from them because it has some almond with chocolate flavors, and they are really persistent in this coffee. And now I have to grind the coffee beans, and then I will make a cup of coffee, and then I will start working. So I just finished with my freelance work for today, and that application helps you to lose the face fat, and I'm trying to make an onboarding with around 8 pages, let's say, because I'm asking the user some questions about how much time he has to allocate for the program, and I want to show him some before and after photos. Then I will prompt him with a paywall, and I will have a weekly with a lifetime deal to experiment if it's okay. And then it will have some simple functionality like you are taking a picture of yourself, you get some facial rating, and you can also take pictures of the food you are eating, and with the help of AI, of course, it will analyze and it will tell you how much your face will get bloated if you are eating this food. It's a pretty simple application, and I saw that on Sensor Tower that these kind of applications are making around 10k to 30k a month, which is huge. And if I can make this application and do some marketing for it and make 300 bucks per month, it's okay for me. And for today I'm focusing to complete the onboarding process because it's around 6 p.m. and I don't know if you can see, but I'm also sick and I don't have that much energy like I'm usually having because I've been cold for 3 days now, and I hope that it will get better soon. That was it, and I'm sorry if the video is too short. I don't know what length we'll have after editing, but I hope that it helped you in some way to decide if you need a CS degree, and my tips for the resume and freelance platforms will also help you. And by the next episode, take care of you, and I hope that you don't get sick. So see you in the next one.